Hello there, Gemini. How are you? It is so good to see you again. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. If it's your first time on the channel, welcome. We're so glad to have you. So today I'm doing your weekly tarot reading. This is good for August 15th through the 22nd. So we'll take a look at the overall energies with the oracle cards, and then we'll go to the tarot to see what obstacles you may have on your path this week and any advice from Spirit. So let's go ahead and get into your oracle cards. Okay, be Spirit. Sweet results await. Gemini, I'm not sure you've had this card. Or if you have, it's been a long time. This is, those results that you have been waiting for are coming in. Finally, right? It's kind of like long time coming. Wow, really lovely energy and mindfulness, peaceful presence, quiet mind. Yeah, I feel like, I think like maybe a month ago you had a reading where you could see that the results were going to come in. Maybe they weren't physically coming in yet, but you were getting that peace of mind because you knew that the tables had turned, things were swaying back into your, in the wheel was turning. It was coming your way. I feel as if the results are truly starting to come in, and it's really bringing you this very peaceful sense of knowing. I almost feel like this is an energy of, look at her eyes are closed there, right? Of just closing your eyes and looking back at how far you have come, I think it's almost as if you're catching your breath after a very long time of putting a lot of time and effort, energy, love into whatever you are creating or the relationships that you're working on. And then suddenly it's kind of like, oh my gosh, like you get to catch your breath. It's this energy of wow, I really did it. Wow. And it doesn't mean that there's not more to come, Gemini. It's just this lovely presence of just, being in that energy of, wow. I feel like you're really, look at her. I feel like you're really proud of yourself, of how you have overcome some major obstacles on your path. And it's kind of like almost like a inner knowing. I also feel like you have this inner knowing, no matter what's ahead, I know that I can accomplish whatever it is that I put my heart and soul into. It's like one of the results that you get this week is just the knowing that you have the perseverance, the strength, the courage to continue on your path, to going after what your heart truly desires, to following your purpose and seeing the fruits of the rewards coming in because you have put so much time and energy into this. Wow. Yeah. Observer. I almost feel like this is letting you know that your spirit guides and angels are with you all the time. They're always watching. They're cheering you on. They're saying, Gemini, just keep going. It's almost as if there could be other people in your life that you may not even know about that are also watching you, observing you. You are so inspiring, Gemini. That just keeps coming out in your readings, just how inspirational you are to others. You allow your light and love to shine brightly. And even if people do not let you know that, okay, in your life, even if you, I'll share a story, and I hope this doesn't sound braggy, but I was a teacher, and I had this student in my class in the 4th grade. His family was going through a very difficult time at that time, and because of that, he was having difficulties learning and in school and everything. But we worked really hard, and he got through the year really nicely. But then he went on, and I didn't hear anything from him. Like a lot of my students would come back and see me at the beginning of every school year or something, but he never did. And then he was in high school. So it was like a good 5 or 6 years later, he came back to see me. And, he said, you never knew at that time what you were able to do for me, that you allowed me to grieve what I needed to grieve. You allowed me to grow the way that I needed to grow at that time. And that just having that nurturing, that I didn't put a lot of focus on, okay, we got to get your academics up, that it was really just a year for him to nurture himself, to learn how to self-nurture. He needed to. And he said that, wow, it just really helped him, as he moved on. But I never knew that until he came back. I almost feel as if you have somebody in your life that is going to come back in that way. Somebody that maybe you have really inspired and you didn't know it. They've been observing you. I feel like this person is kind of like coming back to share just how much you inspired them, how much you may have changed their life for the good, and you didn't know it. Unfortunately, we have a lot of people in our lives that will sometimes tell us when, they don't think that we're, helping them or whatever. I feel as if, Gemini, you may have had a lot of that. And I'm saying that from your readings, that you've had a lot of people that have pointed out maybe your faults because they've been trying to dim your light. I feel like this is a person that maybe hasn't tried to dim your light, but also hasn't stepped up to let you know just how much of a treasure that you are. And then I'm going to get teary-eyed. And they're going to speak their truth from their heart. I feel like this could be a person. This could be, somebody that left in a difficult way. I think that, they were hiding, masking. You see how there's mask there? I think that they were hiding, masking how they really and truly felt. It's almost as if you were shining so brightly, right? That they didn't feel like they were worthy enough to be around you. But at the same time, you were inspiring them so much. And for some of you, this is going to be a reunion. Even if it's not like a love situation or a family situation, although it could be, it could just be like that student I had that came back and, it was just a nice reconnection. Let's put it that way. And then from that point on, we really did keep in touch. He just, for some reason, I think he needed his space. He did share with me that, he thought of me often, but he kind of, I was a big part of his life while his family was going through something really, really, traumatic. And so he kind of associated me with that trauma because he was a child, of course, too. So he said that he had a hard time talking to me after that because I was like, I haven't heard from you in so long. And he was like, I just had a really hard time. I had to do a lot of healing before I could come back and talk to you because you were a big part of my life in that trauma, although I wasn't part of the trauma, but I was a big part. I was an elementary school teacher. I had him in my class all day long. A lot of times the students that I had in my class felt like I was kind of like a second mom to them because I spent so much of my time, or they spend so much of their time with me. So I feel as if, this could be a person that you haven't heard from in a very long time, and you may have internalized that as they don't love me, right? What you're going to find out is that they really do hold you very dear to the heart. You are a treasure. You have inspired them, even if you haven't heard from them in a very long time. I think it's going to help you to reunite your connection. And once again, it doesn't mean that it's kind of like a romance coming back together or anything like that, although it could be. I just feel like the soul connection that you have with this person is going to be reunited at this time. Wow, really lovely, lovely energy. I feel like this is part of the peace that you have in your mind, because I feel, Gemini, for some reason you feel like you have done something really wrong. And, we all play a part in everything, right? But I feel like you are harboring a lot of perhaps guilt in this situation. And you really, you really shouldn't because this person really admires you. Wow. I'm not surprised, Gemini. You're such a people person. Okay, so let's go look at your tarot for this week. So, your present energy, unfinished symphony. Wow. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense with this storyline. Somebody that you're not really sure, where do you stand with this person? Do they like you, love you, hate you, resent you? What is it? You're not really sure. And yet at the same time, you are still shining brightly. Look at, you are the sun. You are the sun in their eyes. Here we have the Queen of Swords. They're like looking at you. They're using you as inspiration for their own life. And once again, I feel, look at the Queen of Swords is over here. This is you, Gemini. And I know you're the Queen of Swords energy too. But it's almost as if, okay, this is the message I'm getting. You're the Queen of Swords, but you're also looking at how you also want to shine your light even brighter, right? Like you're keeping your eye on the prize. And at the same time, right, here you are as the sun shining brightly, and this other person is inspired by what you are doing. Really interesting, because I feel there's almost like this domino effect by you being in your light, shining your light brightly, and looking forward to how you can even shine more brightly, right? You are even helping to inspire other people to shine their light. Wow. Incredible, Gemini. I mean, that is really incredible. Okay, so let's see. We're going to clarify this. Yeah. Oh my gosh. The Hanged Man. This has been a very long time. I really feel, once again, we have the Hermit, the teacher, the wise one. You're not sure that you are the wise one. And I feel like you're getting this communication. I feel like this person, right, reaching out to you, letting you know that you really are the wise one, helps you to dissipate this self-doubt. It's like you're in this energy, and yet at the same time you're not really sure. And it's almost as if, this whole communication comes in, and you're kind of like, helps you to reunite with yourself, to embrace that wise one within you, that bright light that you are, and also to reconnect to this person. So let's look at your obstacles. So this is what you were working on this week, Gemini, a fork in the road, about how you go forward to find the financial stability, the happy life, the celebration that you are looking for in your own life. So you have a big decision. This could be somebody coming back, and you thought that this scenario was completely over, and now all of a sudden you're recognizing that you had we had the Hanged Man here too. We had the Hanged Man underneath. You're getting a totally different perspective of the situation. This person is going to come back around. You think that they don't like you, that they resent you, that they're angry at you, that they want you completely out of your life. And now what you're understanding is that no, this whole time they have been inspired by you. Almost, I feel a little bit like, that you kind of perhaps mirror to them what they don't like about, like, you are the good, and when they look at you, they see you're good, and they feel like they're not worthy of being in your presence. Whether it's romantic, family, friend, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's like they look at you, you're shining so brightly, and they don't feel like they measure up to you. And I feel like you're thinking the opposite, right? You're thinking that they don't think that you're a bright light, that you're just, a black hole, a darkness. So interesting. Oh my goodness. 3 of Pentacles. Yeah, the energy of, can we work this out? Can we come back together? Can we get this to come back together? This is something that you have for a long time. A person in your life, like even my student, he was my student, but I had a lot of, deep feelings for him in kind of a motherly way because of what he had been through and was still going through. So I did kind of have that, a little bit of that 10 of Cups energy, wanting the most for him, wanting the best for him, wanting him to have love and nurturing in his life, whether it was, through a connection with his teacher or, family members or whatever. It was like I wanted the best for him, right? It's almost as if I feel like you want the best for this person and you're kind of fearful that having the best for them doesn't include you. Really interesting. That they have another agenda on in their life that doesn't include you. Because I feel like for a lot of you haven't heard from this person for a long time. So your perception of the relationship is very different. Once again, I feel like they're wearing a mask, right? They're masking how they really feel at this time. So I also feel like when they come in, it's almost as if they're coming in to tell you that you are their 10 of Cups, that they really are inspired by you. And you're trying to decide, do I believe them or not? Because of things that have happened in the past, maybe perhaps because you haven't heard from them in a long time, perhaps because they have never expressed their emotions to you. Really interesting. So here's your advice: deep knowing and Hanged Man. Wow. So the deep knowing is like your intuition. You know that there's a different perspective of this. It is about allowing yourself to see the different perspective. I feel like this person comes in and it's kind of like when my student said it was really hard. I couldn't come back and see you because when I walked into your classroom, when I saw you, I was flashbacking to all of the difficult things that happened in his life at that time, right? When he said that to me, I could completely understand. Up until that point, I was like, oh, I guess he, I really didn't mean that much to him, right? I was taking this perspective of I had done something wrong, or I really wasn't that important to him, although I thought I was, or I was kind of like, oh, well, I'm getting all caught up in my ego thinking that I helped him in his life, right? I was going that whole scenario of what have I done wrong? The whole thing was that it was just he needed time to heal. He really had to heal. When he came back, it was just all beautiful, right? But he did need time to heal. And I feel like that is perhaps deep down inside, that this person has had to go their own way for some time because they have some other healing to do, that they had to surrender to their deep knowing that at this time they just... wow, really interesting. I would love to hear in the comments how this might resonate with you because, yeah, oh my goodness, coming back in their power. Hanged Man again. You've been really waiting for this conversation or waiting for the clarity in this conversation. Yeah, you're waiting for them to come in and express their love, to want to put their time and energy into this. Yeah. And, I feel like there's a lot of confusion, but they come in quickly. They come in to give you the clarity that you want, to tell you just how much you mean to them. How, for a lot of you, it could be a very nurturing energy that you gave this person, unconditional love. And you may be feeling like, well, no, I didn't give them unconditional love. It really is so interesting, the different perspectives that we have. So it's about you kind of, going back and forth, trying to figure out, like, what is this relationship all about? But you're getting on top of any of the doubts that you had about yourself, about the light. It could be that you've been dimming your light a little bit because this relationship has played in the back of your mind and you're kind of like, well, if I offended that person or hurt that person in some way when I thought I was being nurturing and caring, right? Then maybe I'm not really the bright light that I thought I was. I feel like this person comes in to let you know, no, you are that bright light. It was all me. It really was the other person. They just needed some time and energy to step into their own power, to be able to take control of their own emotions. But you inspired them to step into this. They really did look at you as an inspiration. Could be dealing with an Aries. Doesn't really have to be. I don't have any other signs that are really popping out besides that. Okay, wow, really interesting reading here. I feel like this is a huge confirmation. You know, it really does help you to bring peace to your mind, because now you're understanding, oh, wait a minute, there's a whole other perception, a whole other viewpoint of this, you know, this whole scenario that I didn't realize. Oh, right into this reality. Yeah. It's kind of like, I feel like you had spun some story up in your head, right? That was actually holding you back from shining your light even brighter, right? Now you're finding a different perspective. You're understanding what really was going on with this person. It really wasn't about you. It really was about this other person. They come in, and now you can go back and look at the reality of the situation. And I really feel like it helps you to shine your light even brighter. It's kind of like, oh my goodness, I can't allow what I feel other people are thinking about me to hold me back. It gives you even more clarity, because you understand that you thought this person had negative feelings about you, right? So you were holding back your own light because you felt like somebody had negative feelings about you. Now you realize, first of all, they didn't have negative feelings about you. So they actually had extremely positive feelings about you. But either way, you allowed those emotions to hold you back from shining your light. It's kind of like you see the clarity, and I have to keep my focus on what my purpose is, how I'm shining my light, and not allow the emotions of other people to hold me back from shining my light. Wow, this is a big week. This is a big week. And right after this full moon in Aquarius, it's like you get this clarity. Oh my goodness. And in such a beautiful way, because I feel like this does kind of warm your heart, because you realize a lot of different things. That this person thinks you're a treasure, that you are inspiring other people, whether you realize it or not. And also that you can't allow the feelings of other people to hold you back, that you have to keep your focus on where you're going. Oh my goodness, Gemini. Wow, I just always love your readings. I really do. I do personal readings. If you're interested, the link is in the description box below. But I honestly hope you have a wonderful week. And I hope to see you again really soon. Bye for now.